Hi everyone! Welcome back to the CaseGuard Studio training course. In today's video, we will cover updates and features in the new 8.8 CaseGuard release. I'm going to begin by creating a project. And I'm going to add a video file into my project. Once your file is added into CaseGuard, you can draw your redaction box right away, as manual redaction is automatically selected. The Manual Redaction panel at the bottom of your screen is where you can select the shape and effect that you'd like to apply to your redaction. For the shape, I'm going to choose an ellipse. And for the effect, I'm going to choose a pixelate effect. CaseGuard has a new feature called Search by Image. To use this feature, simply draw your manual redaction box, right-click, and select Search. The system will automatically track this object in your video. Let's go ahead and play the video. It looks like the redaction dropped there for a couple of frames. It's really easy to adjust this. All you need to do is go back to the frame where the object was dropped, adjust your redaction box, and run the search once again. This is going to overwrite what it already applied for the latter half of your video. I'm going to select Ctrl F on my keyboard to activate this function. Now it's overwriting what it already did. Let's see how it looks. It dropped there as well, so let's go back a few frames and make sure that we have his face covered. Right-click and search again. This will overwrite what it already applied to the end of the video. Let's play the video from the very beginning to see just how easy using the Search by Image feature is. It looks great. I'm going to add another file into my project. Let's go ahead and select it. I'm also going to pin my transcription panel to show you new features that have been added there as well. To run AI automatic detection on your video, all you need to do is click on the smiley face button on the left-hand side of your workspace. The smiley face button will open up the AI Automatic Detection panel. From this panel, you can select the objects that you want CaseGuard to go through your file, detect, and automatically redact. For this example, I'm only going to choose faces and heads. But please remember that you're not limited to selecting just one. You can select as many as you'd like. I'm going to apply an adaptive blur effect. Click Next, and let's start running our AI automatic detection. While that's running, I also want to transcribe this file. Let's click on this blue Auto Transcribe button in the transcription panel. This opens up the Automatic Transcription pop-up window. From this pop-up window, you select the spoken language of the file. If you don't know the spoken language of the file, you can simply select Detect Language, and CaseGuard will detect the language for you. If you have multiple different languages that are spoken in your audio, you can check this checkbox to detect and transcribe multiple languages. I know that this audio is in English, so I'm going to select English and click Transcribe. A very exciting new feature is that you can redact video and audio at the same time. I'm going to select the Audio Redaction button on the left-hand side of my workspace. This opens up the Audio Redaction panel at the bottom of my screen. I can play my video, view video redactions, and apply audio redactions all at the same time. Let me show you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Zuckerberg, nice to see you. When I saw you not too long after I entered the Senate in 2011, I told you.
And I just applied a mute point here, so we can go back and listen.
Chairman, Mr. Zuckerberg, nice to see you. When I
And that's where we muted the audio.
sent it in 2011,
And you can see that the video redactions are on the screen. Now, the transcription has loaded. And I'm going to make this a little bit larger so it's easy for everyone to see. I'm going to play this video, and we can follow along with the transcription.
told you when I sent my business cards down to be printed, they came back from the Senate print shop with the message that was the first business card they'd ever printed a Facebook address on. There are days when I've regretted that, but more days when we get lots of information that
This is a new feature that we added to the 8.8 CaseGuard release. As your audio is playing, the transcription will follow along by highlighting the word that is currently being said. Let's go ahead and add a few more redactions by using the transcription panel. I'm going to use the transcription search feature and look for the word Facebook. It was found 8 different times in this audio file. I'm going to mute each time Facebook is said by clicking the Mute All Search Results at the top of my transcription panel. Now, we can continue listening and hearing our audio redactions.
that we need to get. There are days when I wonder if the friends is a little misstated.
Great, it redacted Facebook right there. Now, let's move up to the top of our workspace and click on the drop-down menu. This drop-down menu will allow you to change modes when working on your video files. The first option is the Edit mode, which is exactly what you see on screen right now. Your redaction boxes are present, and they're outlined with a border. Up next, we have Edit Mode View. This allows you to see what's behind your redactions as you play your file. Please be aware that this is just for editing mode, and once you export the file, it will have the effect applied.
It doesn't seem like I have those every single day.
Speaking of export, let's go back up to that drop-down menu again. We have a preview mode option, which will show you what your video will look like once it's exported. Please note that there are no borders around the redaction boxes, and our effect is applied. Lastly, we have Show Original, which will play your video as it appears outside of CaseGuard. Now, when you're working on edits, you can choose whichever mode works best for you. Let's move on to document redaction. A new feature for document redaction includes a PST Reader for Outlook files. When I add a PST file into my project, the CaseGuard PST Reader opens up. From here, you can select which emails you'd like to add to your CaseGuard project. I'm going to select all. And then prior to import, you have the option to include emails and attachments, emails only, or attachments only. I'm going to select emails and attachments. Click Import. My file is ready. I'm going to select Load Pages. This will give us an overview of what's included in our document. Looking at the file as it appears in CaseGuard, we can see that we have an email here and an attachment here. If I scroll through the attachment, we come back to emails. And this is another attachment. Now, once you have your PST file inside of CaseGuard, you're ready to perform any redactions that are needed. For example, I'm going to redact one of my coworkers' names. Once you're done redacting, simply click the Export button to receive your fully redacted file. The last update that I want to talk to you about is the expansion of our bulk processing. Clicking on the Bulk Processing button at the top of your workspace opens up the Bulk Processing window. From the Operation drop-down menu, we made a couple of changes. The first one is within the Redact Documents setting. I'm going to add a couple of files here. Click on Redact Documents Settings. The first new feature that we have here is the Anonymize Documents feature. This will randomize file names to anonymize the documents. This is incredibly useful for resume redaction. For example, if this was for a position for a nurse, I can input the prefix nurse and check Add Anonymized File Names to the top of each document for easier recognition. Now I'm going to select Apply. I'm also going to check this checkbox to apply the effects. And now click Start. My CaseGuard scheduler opened up to show me how far into the process CaseGuard is. It's already done. Let's go ahead and take a look. We can see our prefix was added here. And similarly here. If you want to see a list of the original file names, this is very easy to access. All you need to do is click on Print Report, and from the drop-down menu, select Anonymization Report. And here you can see all of the different files that you put through the anonymize function and its original file name. Now, let's go back up to bulk processing once again. Another new feature in the Operation drop-down menu is the option to resize media files. I'm going to add a file in. Click on Resize Settings. You have the option to resize as a percentage or as pixels. I'm going to use the percentage and make it about 50% of its size. Click Save and click Start. It's already done and in my Project Files panel. Let's take a look. This is much smaller than the one that I currently have on my computer. Now, let's go back up to bulk processing one last time, and from the Operation drop-down menu, select Full Frame Effect. This feature will apply a full frame effect for every frame of each video that you add into bulk processing. Let me show you. Click on Full Frame Effect Settings and select the effect that you want to apply. I'm going to select Contrast and increase it slightly. Click Apply. I also want to check this checkbox so that we can see this effect applied in our CaseGuard project. Click Start. It's done and in our Project Files panel. Let's take a look. We're still in View mode, so let's change it to Preview mode. This is what the file will look like once it's exported. We added a contrast effect to every frame of this file. That's all I have for you today. I hope you found this video helpful and you're excited to get started with CaseGuard 8.8. Happy redacting!